I would like to welcome you to our webinar, How Large Language Models Are Changing the E-Commerce Customer Experience. My name is Tobias. I am doing the moderation today, and I also would like to introduce Chewbacca, who's like right here behind me. He will be watching over me during the webinar. And I would also like to introduce our speakers for today, who are much more important than I am. We have our two product managers, Julia and Tufan, which both make me very happy that we are on a first name basis in this company. And we also have our business consultant, Felix, who will also take part in this presentation. And like I said, I am Tobias. I am usually doing the event management at FactFinder. And since this webinar is definitely a large event, I'm taking care of this one as well. While I'm showing you our agenda for the webinar today, just some basic logistic stuff. First thing, you can at any time ask questions through the question functionality of GoToWebinar. These questions will be collected, and if we have time at the end, we have lots of stuff to cover. As you can see, if we have time, we will address a few of these questions, but we will definitely collect all questions that are asked, and if necessary, we just will answer them afterward in direct conversation. So if you have any questions, just feel free, put them in the question function, and we will address them all at one time or another. The other thing is, since we have lots of things to cover, we will take all the time that is allotted for this webinar. So if you need to leave early, or if something like comes between, you need to take care of something, don't worry. We will record this whole webinar, and you will be sent the recording automatically since you have registered for this webinar. So you will get all the infos you need. And of course, you can always reach out afterward if you have more questions that didn't come directly to you while we were presenting here. So that's my part. I'm like not taking any more of your time. I will give over to Felix, who will start with the first point, the rise of large language models, a realistic perspective.
Thank you, Tobias. So, hi everyone, I'm Felix, and I would like to kick us off by going to the day where it all started for most of us, which is November 30th, 2022. That's the birthday of OpenAI's ChatGPT. And as you can see on the next slide, since then, much has happened. So it only took ChatGPT 5 days to surpass 1 million users. And after less than 2 months in January, they already had accumulated over 100 million users. That's a feat which actually took TikTok over 9 months and Instagram took over 2.5 years, which I think puts into perspective how important ChatGPT really is compared to some other tools which we use on a daily basis. I think the UBS study is a quite nice quote which sums it up. So in 20 years following the internet space, we cannot recall a faster ramp in a consumer internet app. So I think that's quite fitting. Now it's May of 2025, and much has happened since then. OpenAI's ChatGPT is now almost 2.5 years old. If it was a human baby, it would already be able to walk, jump, and talk. And I think it's safe to say that they have also jumped, or the AI has also jumped, had made a big jump since then, definitely. So only in April, OpenAI reported having over 800 million users, which is up from only 400 2 months earlier. They get about 5.2 billion visits per month, and the average user spends about 8 minutes and 13 seconds during one session, which then ends up to about 82 years of lifetime, which humanity spends in total every month in the app. So I think that's quite a large number to put into perspective how important this app has become for most of us. Naturally, as we can see on the next slide, there's quite a big hype for those reasons around ChatGPT now. Okay, these slides are gone for me, I think. But I should just keep going, I guess.
It was
so naturally, there's quite a big hype. And we already have over 1 billion devices on the planet with which are running on some kind of AI assistant. As of 2 years ago, there were about 15,000 artificial intelligence startups in the US alone. Of course, those numbers have significantly risen since then. And already back then, there were estimated hundreds of thousands of different AI tools on the market, which has already increased since then. So if you're an e-commerce manager, you've probably seen dozens of emails in your inbox, in your business email inbox, with different companies informing you about the latest AI trends, as you can see also in this image, I guess. So it's very uncommon these days to have AI-powered tools which are marketed. And next slide, please. And of course, there are many good reasons to start using AI in e-commerce. So maybe one of the most important reasons, time savings. You can automate, for example, content creation for SEO purposes. You can automate, for example, newsletters or recommendations. There are several business improvements, such as, for example, reduced manual labor, fewer human errors, increased productivity, or 24/7 operations. And so for all those reasons and more, of course, most companies have decided to either already start using AI right now, or at least investigate or explore using it in the future. Only 3%, about 3% of companies have not yet planned or don't plan in the future to even start using AI. As you can see, it's the vast majority of companies which are going to benefit from the aspects of AI in the future. According to Stanford University, which published a very new report in 2025, AI adoption is still rising among companies. So like I just previously said, about 78% of companies are currently using or exploring using AI, although those rates include other countries, such as countries in Asia, which have higher adoption rates compared to Germany or other European countries. So we are quite in the background but when it comes to those numbers. Still, investments grew to over $250 billion alone this year, and the AI is becoming even more intelligent and efficient over time. So depending on which benchmark you're looking at, performance has grown by up to 67.3% since last time they checked, depending on the benchmark. So in summary, it's becoming even more affordable and cheaper for the companies to start using AI. But still, not everything is always great. So there are some challenges which remain with the use of AI, such as, for example, on the next slide, you can see one very prominent example is that AI can sometimes lie. It's possible to happen. And in those cases, what is the result is frustrated customers who actually get no help from the AI at all. On the contrary, they actually get annoyed by it. And in those extreme worst case scenarios like this one, where the AI chatbot employed by Air Canada made up refund policies which didn't exist, there was even financial damage because the company had to honor the invented policies which the AI had made up to the customers. Another example would be on the next slide, the McDonald's drive-through disaster. So McDonald's also was one of the very first companies to start investing heavily into AI. They tried to automate the drive-through process using AI, and sometimes it resulted in some strange order combinations, such as, for example, the AI added hundreds of dollars worth of products to the order without even requesting the customer. Or another example would be combining bacon with ice cream, which was also quite a comical combination to the customer, at least.
Are we sure
maybe
that was a
lastly,
mistake? I'm not sure that that's actually a bad combination, but go on, please.
Yeah, I guess it depends on your own taste. That's right. Salty and sweet, always nice. You're right. But I guess that customer at least was quite surprised by it, at least. And maybe one last example on the next slide, you can see even Google can sometimes display wrong recommendations based on AI. So, for example, if you ask how many blocks you should eat each day, you will then get the recommendation to eat at least one small rock a day, which is obviously it obviously shows that there's no real true understanding of the AI. There's no real nuanced grasp of the customer's intention or their preferences. And so it's simply irrelevant what is displayed here. There's no real benefit for the customer in seeing those kinds of recommendations. Next slide, please. And so for all those reasons and also some others, Forbes has made the audacious quote, I guess, that in their opinion, about 95% of all AI products will fail, which would then, of course, lead to many wasted investments by those companies who have invested in those AIs. In order to be part of the remaining 5% of those 5% actually succeed using AI, there are three different reasons, three different bullet points, which we should keep in mind in order to actually be successful. The first point is to actually anchor all decisions around solving customer pain points. So you have to know what those pain points are, and then the second step, actually solve them using AI and not solve some kind of issue which didn't even exist in the first place. The next point is deliver consistent innovation and unique benefits. So once again, you should keep up to date with the newest technology and always try to work out benefits which don't exist already on the market. And then thirdly, harmonize rapid delivery with reliable service quality. So like we just saw, if you don't have reliable service quality, you end up with the examples we just saw, McDonald's, for example, Air Canada, and so on. And so if you are able to actually be reliable with the service quality, you can avoid those kinds of issues. Next slide, please. And so we from FactFinder think that we actually are able to cover all those three bases I just mentioned. So we've been working with our customers on product experience for over 20 years. We started working with AI, with machine learning almost 20 years ago. So lots of experience with that area as well. We know what our customers' pain points are, and we know we want to solve them for them. And we have been innovating for many years now. And our customers actually confirmed it as well. They rate us very highly, which is, I think, also a good sign that we are on the right track here. And so for all those reasons, we have started developing our own AI tools, which are also based on large language models. And the first tool of those tools would be vector search, which we're going to talk about next. Next slide, please. So why even invent or why even use vector search in your e-commerce online shop? So I think it's always a good idea to follow Google's lead. Usually Google knows what they are doing. They're one of their biggest search provider in the world, so probably a good idea to listen to them. And according to Google, their natural language query increased by 60% between 2015 and 2022. Please keep in mind that's by 50%, not to 60%, which means keyword search is still the most important kind of search, but still it has increased significantly since then. So that's, I think, a trend we can see that it's becoming even more popular. In addition to that, many shoppers, 70% of them, actually think that a lot of search engines need improvement or struggle to find good results using natural language queries. And so for those reasons, it's also important to try to improve the results for those 70%, that majority of customers who have issues. In addition to that, also voice-based search is also only really possible with vector search, so that not really possible with keywords. And so for all those reasons, and more probably, Google launched their BERT in 2019. BERT is their kind of vector search where they are trying to better understand natural language queries. And you can see on the right-hand side, there's one example. So on the left-hand side, the before example shows kind of fitting results for the query, but the right-hand side obviously understands the query even better and displays even more fitting results. So that's, in this case, based on the fact that they started using natural language understanding at that point in time. And so because if it can improve the Google experience, it's of course always a technology which can much improve the product discovery experience in your online store. And now I would hand over to Julia to tell you more about our vector search tool.
Thank you so much, Felix. Hello, everybody. My name is Julia, and let's talk about vector search. At FactFinder, we are not chasing trends. We are solving real problems faced by our e-commerce customers. When we decided to evolve our search capabilities, we didn't start with technology. We started by listening to the data, specifically the search behaviors and frustrations of the shoppers across our customer platforms. And next slide, please. And we are systematically analyzing millions of e-commerce search queries, focusing on the critical metrics like zero-hit searches, queries that returned no products, click-through rates, whether users found something relevant or not, post-search engagement, did shoppers continue browsing or abandon, and of course, customer feedback from the interviews. And this analysis revealed a simple but powerful truth. Traditional keyword search is not enough anymore. Next slide, please. Analysis of the queries data across our customer base showed consistent patterns in how users search currently. These insights allowed us to categorize queries into distinct types, each reflecting different user behaviors and challenges. Let's talk about natural speech queries. Apparently, AI chatbots are influencing how users are searching right now. Shoppers are using full sentences or descriptive phrases. For example, I want a dress for Christmas. Intent-based queries. Users search based on needs, not exact product names. For example, something to keep my coffee hot during commute, or wedding guest. Synonyms. Different shoppers use different words for the same things. For example, winter coat, parka, or jacket. Mistakes and typos. Quick typing, especially on mobile, can lead to errors. For example, we can write up iPhone with the mistake instead of iPhone case. Plurals and grammatical variations. Small grammatical differences impact results. For example, men's boots versus boot for men. And last but not least, mixed language queries. In multilingual markets, shoppers often blend languages. For example, cheap Jacke, where cheap would be English and Jacke would be in German. These challenges are common across all industries, from DIY, fashion to B2B and food, and underscore the need of more semantic, intelligent search solutions to go beyond traditional keyword matching. Next slide, please. So how do we approach vector search? This image illustrates a high-level approach to vector search, a method that retrieves information based on meaning rather than exact keyword matches. The process begins when a user submits a query. For example, winter sleeping bag. An embedding model then converts this query into a vector, a list of numbers that captures its meaning. These vectors, called embeddings, and they are dense numerical representatives of data, like text or image, that reflect their semantic content. The same model also transforms product data, as you can see from the right side, into vectors in the same space, enabling meaningful comparisons. The system then compares the query vector to the product vectors and identifies those that are closest and meaning. Finally, the most similar items, those with the closest vector representations, are returned as a search result to our user. Next slide, please. Let's talk about privacy and control. When designing our vector search solution, we made a deliberate decision. We do not use OpenAI APIs or external cloud-based LLMs for embedding generations. Instead, we focus on self-hosted offline embedding models. Because data privacy, no customer search data is sent to third-party servers. Customization. We can fine-tune these models on specific customer catalogs and industry-specific languages. Performance and stability. Hosting embeddings locally ensures predictable latency and system control. And, of course, compliance. it's easier to meet strict industry regulations around data handling, for example, GDPR and others. Next slide, please. At this point, I would like to share a few examples, a few queries with you guys. So what I'm sharing right now, I hope that you can see my screen. Thank you. What I'm sharing right now on my screen, this is FactFinder, basically, NG. And here on the right side, we have keyword search activated. And on the right side, we have vector search activated. Let's run a few queries all together. The one I already started to run with you. So basically here we have günstige Kletterschuhe für Anfänger, which is in English will be affordable climbing shoes for beginners. So as you can see, keyword search here doesn't perform well because basically it doesn't understand the meaning. The query is super long, but vector understand the meaning here and can identify the intent. So basically, as you can see, I will probably change to this mode so you can see it better. Here we have these climbing shoes and all products are relevant. I can go to the third page and you can see that still vector delivers us relevant products. Let's probably try another query altogether. No worries. I can type it. Winter Slav. So as you can see here, we have sleeping bags on the keyword side. Let's try this very same query here on the vector side. So as you can see, keyword search provides us some relevant results, but for some reason it's quite limited. And if we are talking about vector search, we have many relevant results here. So which is showing us that vector search understands the query better and can provide much more relevant results than the keyword search. Let's try another one. Let's try probably something with the mistake, right? This is Jacke, which is written with the mistake. So basically it should be C if you're talking like incorrect way in German. And as you can see, I wrote it specifically with the mistake because this is possible that our users can search for something with the mistake. And if I search for Jacke with the mistake on the keyword side, you can see that here are results, but they are not relevant. Only one is relevant, but I can see others which are not really fitting our criteria, unfortunately. So let's try vector search here. And as you can see, vector search, even with the mistake, understand the intent, what we are looking for. This is all jackets and all results are relevant. I can go to the next page also. And you can see that it still will be Jacke, no any missed products. That's all I wanted to show you regarding today. And yeah, let's go back to the presentation, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, so first of all, we have very exciting news today. After testing our previous slide, please. Yes, previous slide. Previous. Yes, thank you so much. So first of all, we have very exciting news today. After testing our vector search with a couple of customers during the last couple of months, we are now ready to launch it tomorrow, 8th of May. So if you want to test our vector search with your product data, You can reach out to us. Just contact your CSM or write an email to our info@factfinder.com. But the launch only marks a starting point, as the next steps will be expanding our vector search beyond zero-hit queries, adding more control options to merge vector and keyword search results, which would shape our hybrid intelligent search. And last but not least, adding image search in the future. So stay tuned for what's coming next. And over to you, Felix. Let's talk about AI-guided selling, our next initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. So the next of the 3 AI tools we would like to introduce today is the AI-guided selling tool. So as you can see on the next slide, generally speaking, guided selling isn't new. So we have been using guided selling for many years now. Many of our customers are very happy with the tool. And they are a kind of campaign which helps customers determine and find the right product for their use case. So for example, they are often used if customers only really have a rough idea of what they're looking for, but they haven't really made up their mind for the concrete product yet. And maybe if you have a very large product range, a very wide product range, you can then introduce guided selling campaigns to help customers narrow the number of results down. The advantage is that customers then, after the fact, remember the occasion fondly, and they're happy to return to your store and use and experience the guided selling campaigns again because they are very enjoyable to use. Next slide, please. Now you can see right here how it looks like in real time. So this is the FactFinder channel, and you can see I went to the jacket category. I chose my gender, I chose my use case, and after 3 or 4 clicks, I have narrowed down the number of results from over 1,000 to less than 100. So if we go through the video once more, you can follow what I mean. I'm on the starting page. I go to clothing, then I go to jackets. And now I have 1,453 different results, which is a lot. Then I choose cycling. There are only 1/10 about left. Then everyday life as the next choice. And next up, the materials, so in this case, windproof material. And I then end up with 67 different products, which are actually tailored to my specific needs, which I chose during the guided selling campaign. So of course, this is just one example for jackets, but the same thing goes for any other kind of products, whether it's DIY or food or anything else. You can customize the campaigns the way you need it for your use case. Next slide, please. And so the campaign we just saw was from the FactFinder online shop, and they've been using guided selling very successfully for a long time. And they have experienced lots of great results from those campaigns. So among others, they have received up to 50% more usage rate per category, up to 40% of all customers who start using the guided selling campaign also finished using it. Exit rates decreased by up to minus 28%. Conversion increased by up to 50% per category, and up to 70% more sales per session were achieved. Also, there were less returns because customers were more likely to actually find exactly what they were looking for, with no more need to return wrong items for their use case. And like I already said, customers like the experience and remember it fondly. And lastly, also the FactFinder were able to to generate more tracking data and a better understanding of their customers' needs and wishes through the use of those campaigns, which they could then further use to improve their offering to their customers. And so, like I said, now we would like to automate the process of creating those campaigns using AI. And Julia is now going to tell you more about how that one works.
Thank you, Felix. So, what is AI-guided selling? Our AI-guided selling campaign enhances traditional advisor campaigns by introducing pre-generated advisor tree created by FactFinder using large language models and word match searches. Instead of starting from scratch, Campaign managers can simply enter a search term and system generates an initial advisal tree. Use cases. So product guidance help visitors find the right products through natural language interactions, especially for complex products requiring explanation. Decision support. Assist undecided visitors in navigating large product catalogs. Of course, sales boost. Engage customers who prefer not to use traditional filters or sorting, offering a conversational and intuitive buying experience. Next slide, please. So how it works? As you can see on the picture, the journey starts with the search term. Users should enter a product-related term, for example, camping equipment, to kickstart the campaign. FactFinder analyzes the product feed, facets, filters, and categories to build a structured advisor tree. Every branch of the tree is processed through our integrated large language model to generate natural conversational questions. Dialogues and answer options provide the LLM full context, ensuring human-like advisory flows. And of course, no manual product mapping needed. Search-based filtering dynamically updates product recommendations based on user responses. Next slide, please. It's important to know that AI-guided selling is non-deterministic. While AI-guided selling significantly accelerates campaign creation, human verification remains essential to ensure quality and accuracy. All AI-generated campaigns are set to inactive by default, giving campaign managers the full control to review, adjust, and approve before going live. This module is designed to empower campaign managers, but not to replace them. Why human review is critical? Let's talk about examples. For example, food products. A campaign for vegan tomato soup might miss hidden animal-based ingredients like milk or eggs listed in detailed product descriptions. Another example in specialized electronics. While AI reliably recommends standard electronics like phones, TVs, or laptops, it may miss some technical requirements for specialized devices, such as those dependent on, let's say, specific external temperatures for proper operation. AI-guided selling delivers speed and scalability, but requires human expertise to guarantee relevance, safety, and trust, especially for complex or sensitive product categories. Next slide, please. So what's the current status for AI-guided selling? AI-guided selling was built based on direct customer feedback gathered during the product discovery phase. This feature has been tested by a group of customers across industries like fashion, DIY, toys, electronics, and dental devices. We are actively collecting feedback to refine and enhance the advisor tree generation for different e-commerce sectors. Development is already underway to boost the quality, accuracy, and relevance of advisor trees based on real-world use cases. Any customer interested in testing AI-guided selling module can get access by reaching out to their customer success manager. Thank you. And next slide, please. Over to you, Tufan.
Thanks, Julia. Hello, everybody. I'm Tufan, and I'm a product manager in FactFinder. Today, I'll talk about our latest topic, data enrichment. Then I will do a wrap-up of our vision on how LLMs will change the e-commerce landscape. And then we will move forward to our Q&A session. So yeah, let's get into it. When we talk about AI features like vector search or guided selling or any intelligent search and navigation experience, we often focus on the end result or the fancy way it's presented. But in reality, those features are only as good as the product data behind them. And that's where then data enrichment comes in. So what is data enrichment? At its core, data enrichment means improving the quality, consistency, and completeness of product data. We are talking about things like generating useful tags or attributes, standardizing values across fields, fixing spelling mistakes, or adding missing information. In the past, and still today, most of the time, it's been done manually or rule-based. But increasingly now, AI is stepping in to automate and scale this process. In e-commerce, this matters because better product data means better discoverability, not just for keyword-based search, but also for vector search. What better discoverability means for customers is they can find the right product faster, and then for retailers that they will deliver a smoother experience and, of course, push their numbers up. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah. Now, if you're asking why we're talking about this, why has this become a hot topic in e-commerce now? Due to several all interconnected reasons. First off, large language models have reached a point where they can interpret and transform product data at scale. What's been done in the past with rigid rules or manual human effort can now be done with smart, context-aware enrichment, if done right, of course. But this is the main enabler. Secondly, better data not only means better discoverability, but also means better AI features. AI needs good data. So it's a catalyst to any AI feature that is in use right now, like vector search or AI guided selling or personalization or conversational search and so on. But also any AI feature that will be invented in the future. And last but not least, it's not only a supply matter. Everybody thinks they need better data. And now that the LLM technology is maturing and AI features are becoming more and more profitable, the market is becoming aware of this need and starting to actively demand data enrichment solutions. And I'm not making this up. We asked around. You'll see in the next slide. We made a survey with our customers, and 80% said their product feed has room for improvement. That's a huge number. And it was confirmed again and again in direct customer interviews. Let me share a few examples. One customer went so far as to build their own in-house enrichment tool. Their reason is that their product data is generated by a different team than e-commerce management and isn't ideal for search and navigation. So they wanted to generate helpful attributes that better reflected how their end customers shop. Another customer struggles with inconsistent field values from multiple suppliers, differing in things like units or naming, which makes faceted navigation and filtering a very painful experience. And of course, there were a bunch of customers who wanted to fill in missing fields. So when you add all these on top of each other, you can see that it's only natural that this is becoming a thing now. So let's talk about where we are at FactFinder. We are actively working on a data enrichment MVP, a minimum viable product that will be a first step in tracking this problem. The scope of the MVP covers the low-hanging fruit use case, tag generation or attribute generation, however you want to call it. And here's how it works. You select which products you want to enrich. Our AI-based enrichment service takes the most valuable information available in your data for those products and analyzes it. And it returns a list of suggested tags, attributes to enhance the metadata of those products. Then you review these enrichment suggestions per product and either accept or decline them. The goal is to improve keyword and vector search relevance, but we are designing it to be flexible so that you can use them anywhere else in your UI, for example, or choose how much they should influence search behavior. But tag generation or attribute generation or keyword generation, however you want to call it, is just the first step. As we collect feedback and iterate on the MVP, we are preparing to tackle more advanced use cases like standardization of different values across fields, or eventually even filling in missing field values, one of the hardest but most impactful use cases. We are also exploring more interactive enrichment options, something like a free prompt field where you can ask the enrichment service to do whatever you want, kind of like a ChatGPT for your product feed. So let's talk about the challenges. Everything sounds great plans, great opportunities, but of course it's not without challenges. So let's take a moment here to talk about them. One of the biggest problem we face is you can't blindly trust AI generated data, especially when it comes to product data that your whole shop experience relies on. Remember what Felix talked about earlier. If an LLM suggests a wrong or misleading enrichment, it can confuse customers, damage trust, even hurt your numbers, your performance. So how is this problem addressed right now when you look at the market, look at the available solutions? Some players offer manual rule-based enrichment, which works, but it's not smart. It doesn't generate anything new. And like I said, very manual. It's even hard to call this data enrichment. It's like a light PIM solution that you can play around with your data. Others offer custom data services that require long, expensive collaboration cycles with their data teams. Neither of these feels efficient for us. They're either not scalable or not autonomous or both. So next slide. At FactFinder, we believe there's a better way forward. Our vision is to develop a data enrichment solution that is autonomous, reliable, scalable, affordable, and fast. Because a really great enrichment solution isn't just about generating data, it's about doing it in a reliable and efficient way. Without doing this, data enrichment stays as a marginal, costly, and slow solution. We believe this vision is possible to achieve by, and I'm not saying here that we are doing these perfectly. We are still at the very early stages of our solution, but we believe that it is possible to fulfill our vision by incorporating automatic assessment systems into the enrichment pipeline, like confidence scoring, anomaly detection methods. Also, constant improvements to our models via feedback loops, through which in time we will be able to generate more and more reliable results. Or allowing A/B testing of enrichments to mitigate risks or ensure trust. If we can tackle this problem, and we believe we have the means and we will tackle them, data enrichment will become a highly profitable solution that will catalyze e-commerce itself and all the innovations in it. So let's wrap it up. Why is data enrichment important beyond just clean data? Because data quality is the invisible backbone of everything else we were talking about in this webinar. And AI or not, every new innovation we will be building. If you want better vector search results, you need clean, rich, contextual data. If you want AI assistance when creating guided shopping experiences, it needs structured and comparable product information, even with the existing features. To get better results, your data has to be rich and relevant. But again, it's not just about fixing bad data. Our goal at FactFinder is to offer a solution that is accurate, scalable, affordable, and of course, delightful to use. We believe the challenges can be overcome with the right combination of AI, UX thinking, and of course, smart automation. And the technology has matured to the level that allows us to start building a good solution. All right. So now let's leave data enrichment behind and go back to our broader vision on how LLMs are changing the e-commerce landscape before we conclude our webinar. In software product management, the best experience is what is natural for the user. And you will understand it better when you see the image in the next slide. Yes, as human beings, the most natural way of communicating for us is through natural languages like this. Think of the shopping experience, for example. For thousands of years, we shopped like the image you see here. This is what is natural for human beings in this context, right? But we traded this off in the last decades, and although not delighted by it, we adjusted to speaking in keywords when we are engaging with machines, in exchange of some returns, of course, like having the convenience of browsing and ordering at the comfort of our homes. I call this a trade-off because it was a compromise. We didn't do it because keyword-based queries were the best solution or the best experience. We did it because it was what the technology allowed, and the return we got in exchange was so compelling. But as the LLMs are getting better and more reliable, we see that the search behavior, like normal search behavior, is converging back to the natural one, for example. we see more and more people starting to search on ChatGPT instead of Google, and Google trying to prevent that by developing their own LLM solutions and integrating them even into their conventional search. That's just the nature of things. It's destined to be like this because you can't beat what comes natural. We think that the same will happen in e-commerce too. And the future of e-commerce product discovery will be more conversational. Maybe not 100%, maybe it will be 100%, but it will definitely have a major role. Everything we talked about in this webinar so far, every feature that we are building right now is a step, a building block that will prepare us for this. And of course, this paradigm shift won't happen overnight. This is a slow process, but it will be the new norm when the circumstances mature. Yes, there is still a lot of hype around the technology and maybe more useless features than the useful ones, which makes the whole thing feel like a scam sometimes. But once the dust settles, the real value will stand out from the noise, and we believe that it will disrupt the e-commerce space as it will disrupt everything else. And this is why we are investing in this right now. We are not moved. We are not doing this moved by the hype. We are focused on the other side of this cloud of dust. Yeah. So I guess Felix also has a few words to say about this. So please.
Yep. Thanks, Tufan. So I think also from a business user perspective, talking to my customers, I can only confirm that basically it seems like most companies, even if they are not using AI right now in their daily business, they are very aware of the power that lies within, and they are investigating how to start in using AI. So maybe they are not doing it right now, but they are looking for partners such as FactFinder who can support them in integrating the AI solutions in their daily business. So that's next slide, please.
Yeah, that's my part actually. We are almost perfectly on time for the actual webinar. We are over it, actually. I still want to take time for at least one or two questions, quick ones, so we don't keep you guys too long. Just I'll pick lots of questions. As I said, we will address all of them, even those we can't address right now and after the webinar. But we had one question about the models we are using for our solutions, like vector search. You mentioned that it's hosted locally, or it's like in our own. It's not like an open AI solution. Can we say something about what we are using here?
Thank you for the question. I think this question will be to me. Indeed, as I mentioned, we are not using OpenAI models, and we do not use any external cloud-based LLMs for embedding generations. What we are using currently, I would like to keep it as a small secret because this is our technology that we are building. But in any case, we are trying to ensure all the compliance, data protection, and everything which is related regarding the concerns of our customers. So, yeah, please be in touch with us, and you will see even more advanced models performance in the future because we are training those models based on the customer data, as I mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you. We also received lots of questions regarding specific examples or use cases for the vector search. Just inviting everyone, if you want to try it out with your own data, you can always approach us about doing a personalized demo. So I think that's the best approach to actually trying out what you would use it for. I have one more question I would like to ask you guys, or just like a more specific approach about the AI-guided selling campaigns. There was just a question what to do with wrong data, like data that is generated wrong by the AI-guided selling. I think you mentioned it passing, but if you just would talk about it a little bit more.
Thank you. I assume this question also will be to me. So, of course, since it's AI and it's not deterministic, basically it can create still natural language speech questions, right? The tree which is contained with the questions and answers. And it can make mistakes, of course, something that you wouldn't want to have as your facet tree. Of course, we do not push you to use this tree completely. It is possible to edit any question manually, to delete it, to change the order with a drag and drop function, to replace these questions. So basically, it is important to understand that AI guided silent generated tree, it's a draft that you can customize to your need. It's just to reduce your manual effort, because based on the conversations we had with our customers, sometimes it takes days to create a tree, right? And with the AI guided selling, you have a draft just in a few seconds, which you can tweak wherever you like. As well as if you run the very same query, search term, basically to create this tree, next time you would run it and the tree will be completely new. So feel free to play with this. If you don't like this tree, you can just delete it easily, not to save it, and create a new one tree with the very same query, and probably the next one tree you will like more. We will add even more customization in the future in order to provide our users to have to define how many questions they would like to have, what is the tree depth they would like to have, and etc. This is all based on our customers' feedback. So the more feedback we will receive, the better the feature will be built. Thank you.
Yeah. I also want to say a few words about this. Please also, for this question, refer to my data enrichment presentation. Like, you can rest assured that this is our number one nemesis right now. Like, we are perfectly aware of this problem. That, like, this is the biggest impediment in all AI features having a great experience right now. Like, we need to solve this manual human review problem if we really want the AI features, the AI innovations to be perfectly scalable and fast and free of human effort. And but you will see this all around right now in every solutions. I would say our difference in FactFinder is we are aware that this is the number one problem of this becoming, let's say, mass adopted. So we are really focused on this problem and working on tackling this.
Thank you. So watching at the clock, I'd say we wrap it up for today. Again, all of your questions will be addressed after this one. You will get the recording very soon. So no worries about that. And I just wanted to thank everyone, of course, our dear listeners, to have joined us, who've taken the time out of their day to listen to us for this whole time. Also, of course, to our great speakers. Each and every one of them has done their very first webinar for us. So I'd say they did great, absolutely great. Thanks a lot. And I just wanted to mention, since, like I mentioned, I'm the event manager at FactFinder. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't invite you to events we are attending in the near future. So we will be next week at SCORE in Zurich. We will also be at the Savant Berlin event. And in June, we will be at the eCommerce Day in Vienna. And also we will be at K5 in Berlin. So if you are at one of these events, please feel free to join us. Oh, we are also at Shop Talk and the Strategiegipfel. So lots of work for me, but lots of possibilities for you to say hi. And if you're there, please do so. Our people there are always happy to show you our solutions, talk to you about your specific questions. And yeah, they're very happy to help you out here. So thanks again for joining. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy your perhaps lunch break or anything else. And hopefully we'll see each other next time.